All right, guys. So landlord just left. So I just wanted to communicate there was mold because our other landlord was like, "Why didn't you tell me there was mold?" And I'm like, "You're the one who's responsible for the property. Why don't you go come check your property? It's been like a year." That guy was a jerk. My son's like, "Mom, there's just checking the mold." And I'm like, "I know," but I'm like, the last landlord, not the last one, the one in Webster. Total jerk. I told my husband too. I said, I don't know that I want to rent from this guy. We had two choices. The trailer was falling apart. It was a rush decision. One guy had like a duplex, and I'm like, I don't think this is for us. And he's like, no. So we loved the house. We did. My husband loved it, and then later, I didn't love it right away because of the landlord, but after, yeah, I loved it. And yesterday I was thinking about that house. And I'm like, I miss that house. We had huge windows. It was just a beautiful house. It wasn't over the top, but it was nice. So join me on my cleaning business channel. I am going to, in the future, be talking about this book. I started reading it, Organizing from the Inside Out. And as I start my second business with more organizing and decluttering, I will be talking about this. This book, people are like, this is the best book, the best book. And I'm thinking, well, I've studied a lot with Julie Morgenstern. I've studied a lot on systems when my kids were growing up. I read a lot of books. I actually joined a class maybe 3 years ago on, I forget the name of it, but it's like every professional cleaner out there on YouTube, could be a part of this. And a lot of them were. And a lot of them gave their best tips. Well, the thing is, I think this is one of the best books I've read. The thing is, she goes into talking about how a lot of people will give you tips and they can be helpful. I mean, like clean your sink at night. And I have a newsletter that I'm working on. So I went from once a week to every other week, and now I'm going to go once a month. Um, Clean counters, 5-minute rule, 10-minute rule, right? 1 second rule. We have all this stuff to help us, but a lot of it is just patchwork. It's not like, how do we live in a way that we can keep our organizing under control, right? How do we have systems that fit us? And she talks about starting from the inside out, not the outside in, and know your personality, know who you are, know what works for you. So she had a client as a professional organizer who was like, I love people. I get energized by people, but when I see piles of mail, she's like, I'm just not motivated to take that 1 hour of mail, like the mail hour. And she said, change the mindset, turn it into a decision hour where you can pretend each piece of paper is a person. You're talking to a person because there is a person behind the mail, and call it your decision hour, and have your secretary sit with you too, because you are a people person. Hold yourself accountable and dictate or whatever you need to do. And her whole system started changing. I found that to be a great inspiration. So